Be a stick in the mud to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom, our expression today is stick in the mud. I almost brought this. We accidentally planted a weed. We didn't know it was a weed. Actually, it was growing in an empty pot. So we got this big stick of this plant that turns out it's a weed that's about 3 feet high, and it's in this muddy pot. But it was way too heavy, so I didn't bring it inside to show in my video. I like to share what my mind is thinking, even though I don't share it visually. So stick in the mud, this is an idiom that's actually been around for a really, really long time. It was first recorded in 1733. In 1732 and 1733, two criminals in different parts of England that had the nickname Stick in the Mud were convicted of a crime. One was, I don't remember, but the other stealing, and another one was stealing. But two gentlemen, one who was named Stick in the Mud, were sentenced to death because they stole some priceless thing from some guy. I can't remember what it was. But so early on, stick in the mud had something to do with criminal behavior, criminal activity, or a propensity toward being a criminal, which we definitely don't want to do in our business, right? To supersize and grow our business. But that transitioned to more of today's meaning, and that was probably recorded in about this, I don't know, 18th, 19th century or 20th century, where it became stuck in your ways, stodgy, boring, fuddy-duddy. Fuddy-duddy's my favorite. And it meant that you were resistant to change. By the 19th century, the 20th century, it became, hey, a stick in the mud is somebody that's stuck in their ways, will say things like, that's not my job, or this is how we've always done it, which are two of my most dreaded, hated phrases, consulting and working with businesses, because I know that my work is cut out for me because the culture is well ingrained and entrenched in doing things the way that they've always done them. And guess what? When we're wanting to supersize and grow our business, it's all about change and innovation and new opportunities and figuring out how to meet people's needs better, faster, easier than other people do. And that doesn't happen very often if we're a stick in the mud. I hate to admit it, but I've been called a stick in the mud, especially by my children, more than once in my life, usually about weekly with my daughter. She tells me, Mom, come on, be adventurous. Come for us. Do this with us and the kids. It'll be fun. I'm like, yeah, okay, it'll be fun. And then my creaky old knees say, maybe not so fun. But when do we want to dig in, plant ourselves, and in what areas we want to dig in and plant ourselves to grow and build and supersize our business? And what other areas do we want to be more open and flowing and flexible to go with the flow of what's happening around us in the environment and in the world? I say when it comes to our core value, vision, the business that we're in, that people we choose to serve, we want to be all in on that. We want to stick to that with all of our convictions, and we want to be consistent and showing up in a way that people understand what we stand for every single day as we're building and growing and supersizing our business. Will it tweak and change a little bit how we do that over time? Yes, but the purpose and what we're doing in our vision and our core values stay the same. Those are things that we should stick our flag in the ground or our stick in the mud and be steadfast and true to those things. Other things, we want to go with the flow. So when do we go with the flow? When do we stick in the mud? When do we go all in? What do we go all in for? And when do we say it's time to flow and change and grow and be open to other possibilities? Curious when you decide and how you decide what those things are. I like to always these days, the older I get, be open to possibilities and open to what could happen and what we could do to serve people better. Wasn't always that way. I used to be in corporate America, and in corporate America, a lot of the time we set processes and procedures that were right for us as an organization, but maybe didn't take into account what was best for our customers. What was best for the vast majority of our customers, because we had the philosophy that if our company was growing and profitable, we could serve more people, not necessarily serve more people better. I guess that was probably the underlying current, but it didn't always show up that way. And so I love being an entrepreneur and sticking in the mud and sticking with helping businesses to become the best possible version of themselves, just like I like helping individuals and leaders become the best possible version of themselves, me included, and I'm always a work in progress. But I'm curious how you've experienced this particular idiom. Is your business growing and flowing and improving all the time, or is it stodgy and stuck in our ways? Do you have people in your organization and your culture that say, that's not my job, this is how we've always done it, therefore my answer is no? Do you have yes people or no people? We don't want a bunch of yes people that just tell us what we want to hear, but we want people that are open to possibilities of changing and growth, not always saying no because they don't want to change, they don't want to grow, they don't want to do it. All right, that's our idiom for today. Curious about your experience with it. Like I said, I've been called a stick in the mud, and I'm okay with that because as entrepreneurs and business owners, I think we get to make choices. There's this big discussion about sacrificing in business, and I am of the mind, and I've consciously chosen to be of the mind, if I make a choice or choose something, I'm not sacrificing all the other choices or all the things I didn't do. You know, there's this feel sorry for me because I'm giving up everything to build my business mentality. And if you go in it with that attitude, if you go into it with that energy, you're approaching it from a negative standpoint versus, hey, I'm choosing to do this because I'm creating my future. It's a whole different feeling, a whole different energy, and you get very different results from that. All right, have an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. This one was interesting to me. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how can you maybe take it? And most people would say being called a stick in the mud is negative. I personally take it as a compliment because that means I am being true to who I am. Maybe not true to who they think I should be, but true to who I am and showing up and creating what it is that I want to create in the world. And I invite all of us to do the same because really secretly, that's what we all want. All right, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.